Hello, everybody from Punta Mita here in Nayarit, Mexico. I'm Carl Emberson. For those of you that don't know, Punta Mita is a luxury destination, as Arturo well said, with the Four Seasons, the St. Regis, and about 400 luxury homes in our destination, within Nayarit, and which is next to Puerto Vallarta, which all in all are about, say, 40,000 beds. And as both Rico and Raul, the scenario here is about the same. So I think the numbers speak for themselves in this occasion. Unfortunately, sadly, there's nothing we can argue about those numbers. They're about the same, some better, some worse, wherever that may be. So we're in Punta Mita, it's the same, where both hotels are closed. The hotels of the whole destination are closed down. All restaurants closed. Any of the new projects, the Conrad and the One and Only, which were planned to be open within the next few months, have delayed their openings. So that's what's happening on a general infrastructure occupancy basis. However, I'd probably like to take a different angle today and share with you what we are doing in Punta Mita to meet this moment. And I think the capacity of any hotelier or managers there, the ability to adapt to changing times. And I think what we're doing, I'm going to try and separate that in different, 3 or 4 different areas is, one, if you're in a destination like we are, is communicate. Be sure that you communicate to ensure that you are protecting people from any sort of misinformation. Every day this happens. Oh, somebody's blocking the road. Can I come in? Can I go out? You've got to be the source and ensure that you quote sources with the right information. I think that's one of the fundamental issues that on a local level here, what we've been doing with our residents, we have e-letters every 2 or 3 days with COVID updates, what's changed in the marketplace, if so-and-so is open, or if a new restaurant's doing pickup, et cetera, et cetera. So you have precise, correct information in opportune times. So I think that's fundamental, and obviously goes without saying on Facebook, on Instagram, on all the social media channels. Be watching that. We actually have 600 people in Punta Mita at the moment who are residential, who have second homes. So the destination, while dormant, is still moving. There are people here, but we need to control that people and lead by an example and communicate with them. So I think that's one of the key first things that we are trying to do to meet the moment. The other example is obviously, and something that I cannot reiterate enough to fellow hoteliers around Mexico, around the region, is take care of your people. I heard Raul said that in some of the countries they're letting people go without pay, without commitment. You know, the people in the hospitality industry are our key asset as hoteliers. Those are the people that work daily to make things happen. So I think, and I have a beautiful example here of the Four Seasons in Punta Mita. You know, all their staff they've committed that they will be taking care of them over the next 60 days, and if longer, if needs be. So that's a big call, and that's something that I think people look at cutting costs, and which you have to do. I understand that, but please and you know, look after your main asset, which is the people. We are a people's business, so do whatever you can to protect your talent and make sure they and their families are taken care of. And I think, as I said, the Four Seasons Punta Mita has done a great job in that here. Another thing which should go without saying, but I'd like to share with you, and I believe I'm going to share a video with you of what we've done within the local community. We are Punta Mita from one area, and outside our gates, we have a local community with about 1,000 families, about 4,000 people, 20 restaurants, and everything to do. 95% of people that work in our destination depend on the hospitality industry, depend on all the tourists that come here. So we've started right from day one. I think Rico made mention, it was probably about the 14th of March when this thing came diving down. We said, okay, this is going to go bad. So we started a relief fund, a humanitarian fund, to raise monies to feed the local community, or to offer them a staple food basket So 2 weeks ago, we began delivering on a weekly basis 300 family food baskets to 300 families. So that was enough staple food to feed them for a week. This week, we increased that to 600. Obviously, hey, the government should be doing that. No, okay, we live in countries. I've lived in Latin America for 30 years, and we live in underdeveloped countries. So you got to put your hand out and do it sometimes. Take the lead by example, and work together with the local authorities, but, make a difference. That's what we're doing here on a local level. You'll see the video and you'll understand that most of the people in our towns are without work. So that's something we've done. We've also are promoting actively all the restaurants pickup business, as Raul well mentioned. Restaurants are closed, so the restaurateurs that have wanted to stay open, it's a way of keeping their staff working. So we're promoting pickup delivery. Some chefs are creative. We send that around, and so people are picking up food and helping keep alive the few people that are still working. So I think that's how can I keep my brand relevant? How can I keep my team working? It's supporting the local community who are in need at this time and moment. So that's probably the most important thing I think we can do at this stage. And another thing I'd say, which is key, is keeping in touch with your clients. I think I do not understand and I do not recommend switching everything off, to pulling down your curtains and shutting up shop. That's not going to work. That's not how you're going to come out when we come back out of this. That's not how you're going to be relevant. I think what every hotelier should be doing now is to connect with their customers in a different way, in a different manner. They're at home. So I can just share with what we are doing here on a local level is we're connecting, via Instagram, Facebook, via LinkedIn. We're doing cooking classes. We're doing yoga. We're doing a tip from the golf. How can you practice your golf? Arturo, in your case, if you can't play golf at the moment, how can I practice my putt inside? What techniques can I use at home? So this is a way of connecting with your clients and remaining relevant, remaining top of mind, but with empathy. It's not about advertising. It's not about anything. It's about human connections at times at crisis. And I think that's fundamental at this time and moment that we're all living in our lives. So and then what can we do in a downturn? And I think it's very important. One of my big recommendations is for hoteliers is, if you've worked I've had the chance to have been in a couple of crises in my career, and there are opportunities are coming out of a crisis or a recession or a downturn or whatever the technological term it might be called. It's not good times we're going to come out of. So how can I be one step ahead? How can I be better than my competition? And that's by, I just sum it up quickly, it's by obviously at this time and moment, reducing your operating costs to extremely thin, efficient manner. And then don't give up on marketing. Don't give up on PR. That's what my big secret would be. Keep relevant, stay tuned, stay connected with all your clients and your future clients, because what you do today is going to help you when we come out of this. So, and I think from Rico's numbers, we'll know the curve will happen. But what you want to be at the first, you want to be the first one on the door when people think, okay, I can travel again. God, I'm going to go to Punta Mita, because those guys were very, very, very connected when I was sitting at home for 40 days. I didn't see so-and-so because he switched it all off. So that's my recommendation. And I think we can all come out of this and keep relevant, keep connected. And I thank you, Arturo, our wonderful initiative, and all our friends in Latin America, all the best in Mexico. And thank you for the information, Rico. And I'm handing over back to you, Arturo.